In the heart of Los Angeles, in a worn-down apartment building surrounded by traffic and silence, a woman named Marie lived alone. She paid rent on time, never caused trouble, never made noise. Most neighbors said the same thing. She kept to herself. But then one day she was gone. No moving truck, no goodbye, no forwarding address. Weeks passed, then months, then years. The apartment stayed locked. Rent stopped coming. People assumed she'd just left town. And then they forgot her. But inside that apartment, behind a locked kitchen door, one thing kept running. A humming sound. Constant, low, unnoticed. It was the freezer. 3 years later, in 1999, a maintenance worker was sent to check the apartment. The air was stale. Dust clung to everything. There were no signs of a struggle, no blood, nothing broken, just the eerie normalcy of a life abandoned. And that old freezer, plugged in, still running. When the worker opened it, the cold hit first, then the smell, then the sight. Inside, curled in a fetal position, was the frozen body of a man, dressed in jeans and a flannel shirt, his body wrapped in plastic and blankets, as if someone had carefully packed him away, like leftovers no one wanted to deal with. The body was identified as Paul Jackson, Marie's ex-boyfriend, a man no one had even reported missing. When police interviewed neighbors, they uncovered fragments of a disturbing picture. Some remembered hearing shouting late at night 3 years ago. Others recalled seeing Paul regularly, until one day they didn't. But no one thought to check on him. No one thought to question Marie. And Marie? She had already disappeared. Investigators dug deeper. They found something strange in Paul's bank records. After his supposed disappearance, his accounts had still been active. Checks were written, transactions made, all signed with Paul's name. But handwriting analysis proved otherwise. It wasn't Paul signing, it was Marie. She had been withdrawing money from his accounts even after his death, slowly, carefully, over time. Then there was the freezer. It had been purchased days before Paul's death. A receipt found in the apartment proved it. What kind of person plans a murder and also plans how to keep it fresh? Marie Noe wasn't a career criminal. She had no record, no violent past. She had worked for years as a night clerk at a laundromat. But interviews with her co-workers painted a different picture. They described her as withdrawn, tense, and paranoid. One colleague said, "She'd stare at you without blinking, like she was watching your thoughts." According to police psychologists, Marie had deep-rooted control issues. Her relationship with Paul had become volatile in its final year. He was preparing to leave her. He'd told friends, hinted to neighbors. But he never got the chance. It took authorities nearly a year to find her. She was living under a different name in rural Arizona, working at a gas station. When police arrived, she didn't run. She didn't cry. She simply asked, "How long did it take you to find him?" In court, Marie pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. She was sentenced to 20 years in prison. She never expressed regret, never gave a full confession. In fact, she never explained exactly how she killed Paul. The cause of death was listed as blunt force trauma. But the story around it, the emotion, the motive, remains a mystery frozen in time. To this day, the freezer remains in an LAPD evidence facility, cold, silent, preserved, just like the memory of a man whose life ended behind a kitchen door. We expect monsters to look like monsters, but sometimes they wear soft voices and live in small apartments. And sometimes they hide horror in places we'd never think to look, like the freezer